It is that time to do my June beauty reviews and pick out some July products for my Shop My Stash. If that's something that you like, stick around. Hi everybody, my name is Catherine. I'm a beauty and reselling enthusiast, and those are the things that I love to talk about on this channel. If that's something you like to watch, I would highly suggest that you subscribe before you go. This is a monthly series that I do, and basically I talk about all of the products that I specifically picked out for the month, my beauty products, and then we pick out some new products together for that specific month. So we always start with skincare. So this first one is the Pacifica Barrier Care Gel Hydro Dew Slime with vegan mucin and ectin. I actually was able to finish this up, which is what I anticipated to do, but I was like the nick of time. I finished it on June 30th. So we are going to be saying goodbye to this one. It'll be going into my empties. This was a nice product. I mean, it has like a slight little like fruity smell to it, and with the gel texture, it does kind of sink into the skin relatively quickly. Sometimes I kind of wish it was a little bit more moisturizing because I don't know, at times it made my skin feel just slightly tight, which I mean, if that's the snatch look that you're going for, then by all means, this would be the perfect product for you. But there were times that I wish it was a little bit more moisturizing, specifically around my smile lines, because I do have some dermatitis there, so it does get a little bit like dry and flaky at times while the rest of my skin is pretty oily. So I wish it just had a slight more moisturizing property to it, but other than that, it was a nice product. I guess my only other qualm about it is that the pump, like when I got all the way to the end, I couldn't pump anymore, but there still was like some left in it. So you did have to kind of like take the top off, pump it over, you know, like dump it over into your hand and stuff like that. Is that a huge deal? Not really, but I am a fan of those like air pump ones that literally like gets the whole product up just for convenience. I don't know if I'd repurchase this at this time. It would be something I would consider in the future. I just have so much skincare to get through that I'm not repurchasing anything at this time. But this was a pretty decent product. The next product that I thought I was going to finish, but I didn't end up, was this Versed Dew Point Moisturizing Gel Cream. This one does have a little bit more moisture to it, or moisturizing property, but it still kind of sinks into the skin relatively quickly. I thought I was going to finish it, and I didn't, because I kind of put more focus on the Pacifica one. Like when I know I'm about to finish something, I like put tons of focus into it so I can get it done, because I love empty products. But this one is probably going to be, not probably, it will. We are putting the mantra out there. It will get finished this month, and it'll probably get finished within the next week or so. This is a really nice one. It's also relatively affordable. I think the Pacifica one is as well, which I love a good skincare product that is affordable and it works. So this will stay in my July Shop My Stash. I think everything else will also stay in my July if I don't say that. So moving on to more of the PM products, we have the Pharmacy Honey Milk Hydrating Essence with Chamomile and Ceramides. This and the next product are going to last me through the end of the year. They're so filled, and you don't really need too much of the product for it to actually do its job. So it's going to be a while, but I still like it. It is a nice kind of a lightweight moisturizer. I do feel like if you are on the drier side, this would be a great daytime moisturizer, but with me on the more oilier side, this works for me at night. So I kind of would oscillate between this and the next one. Like I said, that will take me forever. Same thing with this one. This is the Guerlain Abiel Royale. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I did receive this in Influencer to review, because I would definitely not spend the $150 that this cost. But it is a nice time. It is a nice, what do they call it? A youth watery oil serum. So this one also I use at night. It does have some serum-y properties that take a while to sink into the skin, but when it does sink in, it kind of leaves like a little bit of a tackiness to the skin. So this might work out really well for somebody who is more on the normal dry side of stuff to work as a serum slash primer. It does have a scent to it. It has a very department store florally scent that for some reason all like designer products, makeup beauty products decide to put into their formulas for who knows what reason, but it's there. This product I forgot to include in the last Shop My Stash, but I did use it and I will continue to use it. This is the Nassif MD Dermaceuticals Detox Pads, Complexion Perfecting Pads with alpha and beta hydroxy. So that's AHA and BHA. So they are an exfoliant, and they do come these oh, you can't see anything, pre-soaked pads. So I'm like halfway through, maybe a little bit more than halfway through. And I use these every so often. I kind of like, for some reason, these just get like, even though they're on my vanity, they still get lost in my vanity. Like I just overlook them, and I'll like overlook them for a few weeks, and it's like, oh shit, like I should be using these. They're in my Shop My Stash. So then I'll use them like every other day. They're really nice to use. Like I use them on my face as well as like on my chest and my back area to have some exfoliation and kind of get that dead skin cell rejuvenation, all that sort of stuff. So these will continue as well. And then another finished product was the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Peptide and Niacinamide Lock It In Setting Spray. This was a nice setting spray, but I don't really think it did like so much for the longevity. Like I do think it helped with longevity, but it wasn't something that was like, oh yeah, that's totally keeping my makeup in place. I liked it more to kind of meld all of the properties together, like powders and the liquids and stuff. Kind of just made everything a little bit more cohesive, and it had a bomb ass spray on it, like a super fine mist. I wish all of the sprays were like that. So this is gonna also go into my Empties pile, and I should do an Empties video soon. I'll link my last one for you. I have my pile of stuff, and my goal to myself was to not get as much stuff as I did last time, or let it pile up as much as last time, because that was a behemoth of a video to do. So I'm trying to not do that, but I'm always like at the very end of things, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it after I finish this one. And then I'm like, get close to finishing another product, and then I'm like, oh wait, I have one more. Anyways, it's coming. So to replace the ColourPop one, I actually started using this Morphe SPF one, the Sunsetter Setting Spray with SPF 30 in it. I think I got this in a subscription box. I'll link my playlist for you if you are nosy and like to see what else is in my subscription boxes. And I've used it a handful of times, and I don't like it as a setting spray for makeup. This is a nice spray if you are just like going out to the pool or something like that. Like I still think you would probably need more than 30. So maybe if you did like a tinted SPF moisturizer and then put this on top of it, I think that would be lovely. But as far as a setting spray, I just feel like it kind of, whatever the SPF properties are in it, makes it a little bit greasy in my opinion. So this wasn't my go-to for longevity of makeup. So this will not be in my Shop My Stash, but I wanted to kind of give a little mini review because I did use it a few times and felt like you should know. But we are going back to a tried and true in my collection. This is the Milani Make It Last Original Natural Finish Setting Spray up to 24-hour wow, where I don't think it actually does for 24 hours, or at least I'm not wearing my makeup 24 hours, but I do feel like it does help with the longevity of makeup, and I like it. I've used it multiple times. It's been in Empties videos before, and so I was getting done with the ColourPop one, and I was like, I don't have another setting spray in my backups, which is very surprising, so I opted to pick this up at Ulta, so this will also be in my Shop My Stash. So now that takes care of all the skincare, so let's get to the extra fun part, which I think is the makeup that I used this month. So as far as my complexion products, this was everything I was using. The first foundation I was using was the Lancome Tinted Ultra Wear Care and Glow. I have mine in the shade 110C, so it's more on the fair side, cool leaning undertones. Ooh, it definitely expired last year. Whoops. I'm not one. I will still use my products even if they're expired. It doesn't smell funny. It didn't wear funny. So we're going to continue using this. This is a really nice kind of, I would say light to medium. I don't think it would build up to full coverage. I haven't tried. But this is just a really nice kind of like natural finish product. The color works really well for me. I have a fair skin tone with cool neutral leaning undertones, so this worked really, really well. The interesting thing about this one is that the pump is a little bit different. Like when you pump it out, one pump of this is like equivalent to half a pump to other foundations. So I'm not saying that's a big deal at all. Actually, I think that's kind of nice. So you get to like customize it a little bit more where, you know, maybe if you need 1.5 pumps, you know, you can equate that out opposed to like doing 2 full pumps and then having extra product or things of that nature. So this is a really nice one, and I'm actually considering putting it in my Beauty Empties challenge. If you haven't watched one of those videos, I'll link the last one for you. It's basically a challenge I gave myself at the beginning of the year where I picked out a full face of products that was basically coming to the end of its life, or is about to finish, or is panning or something like that. And I've gone through a few beauty products that are in my empties. So it's kind of a fun way to actually like pan and finish products intentionally. So this will probably go in there because, a spoiler, I did finish another foundation. You'll have to wait to hear about it in my next update video. But I think this might go into that challenge. Yeah, I think it will. Another foundation I was using was the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. I have mine in 05N. This is a really nice, thin, lightweight foundation. So kind of similar to the Lancome one, more light to medium with buildable properties to it. I want to say they might have reformulated this, and this is the pre-reformulation. So I can't tell you what the formulated version of it is like, but this one is fine. The shade though is a tinge yellow for me. So I typically just like concoct my own foundation. Whatever foundations I'm using for the month, I kind of like all put them together to make my perfect shade. So this on its own is a little bit yellow, but when it was mixed in with the Lancome one is nice. Same thing with this one. This is the Tarte Double Duty Beauty, Tarte Face Tape Foundation. I have mine in the shade 16N or Fair Light Neutral. This is nice undertones, but the depth of it is just a hint too dark. So if I were to go and repurchase this again, I'd probably do just fair neutral compared to fair light neutral. But this is a very nice, what would I say? It's not a flat matte. It's more of a natural finish, maybe natural matte finish to it. It's a really decent foundation. Like, I don't have any issues with it except the shade, and that was my own dang fault. So it's a nice foundation, and I would recommend if you are looking for something kind of natural, buildable, Tarte. There you go. Then as far as concealers, I was only using this Natasha Denona one because I was also using the other one in my challenge video. This is the High Glam Concealer, and I have mine in the shade N1. Now, as far as formula, this is a really nice formula. It's like a little bit thicker, but like it's not super thick, but it is a little bit on the thicker side of things, but you just use a little bit less and it kind of thins its way out if that's a concern for you. As far as creasing, I'm not really a good judge about creasing because I have a lot of like fine lines underneath my eyes, so everything creases. Like I don't expect anything to not crease, but this is a nice product, and so I can't tell you if it creases or not. The only issue I have with this is the shade. This is a perfect shade as a foundation, but as a concealer, if I wanted to just like blank out my under eyes, this would be the concealer I use. But I typically like a little bit more of a brightening under eye, so at the time I don't think they had anything less than N1. I could be mistaken, but I think they have expanded the shade range as of since this came out. So if I were to finish this, I would contemplate getting it again and probably get it in a little bit of a lighter shade. And then we have our powders. So I was using the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder in Translucent. This is a nice powder. It's really big. You get a lot of powder in this. Yeah, it's really big. It does a really good job of setting things down. It doesn't make anything cakey or heavy or anything, while also allowing for some mattifying. Do I think this mattifies me throughout the whole day? Not really. Towards the end of the day, like when I'm ready to take my makeup off, I can definitely tell there is some oils peeking through, but it does a really nice job through the main parts of the day that I want my makeup looking the freshest. So this one is a nice one. And then I usually always use a separate one for underneath my eyes. So I use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Mini Instant Retouch Setting Powder in Lavender. I have used this one before and it is nice. I do like the lavender part of it because it is supposed to kind of counteract yellow. So, you know, like yellow underneath your eyes, it's supposed to brighten that up. I feel like I made some pretty good progress on that. Like, I mean, I've used half of it so far, and this is a little mini guy, and I've had this forever, and I also think this might go into my Empties challenge in the future just to finish it up because I've had it forever. I'm sure it's expired, but it still does its job. It still smells really nice, so that's a good one as well. All right, as far as bringing some color back into the face, we will start with the highlighter. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Highlighter in Champagne Glow. This it's kind of deceiving. It looks kind of dark in the pan, but when you put it on the skin, it has a very nice like a highlighting effect. Like I don't see any cast or anything like that, which I normally expected that I would. This is more of this isn't like your natural type of highlight. I mean, if you use more of a diffused brush, it will be a little bit more natural, but this is like, if you go in without tapping it off, it will be a highlight. It will be a highlighter. It will be 2016 highlighter. But I usually go in, like I said, with more of a little bit of a diffused brush and kind of blend it into the skin to make it look a little bit more natural. But this is a really nice highlighter. I do recommend it, and it's drugstore, and so it's a little bit less expensive, even though drugstore is not less expensive as much anymore. As far as bronzers, I was using the RMS Beach Betty Redimension Hydro Bronzer. I love this formula. It's kind of like a gel type formula. I didn't get as much use out of this one because I was, again, focused on one thing in my Beauty Empties challenge that I did actually finish up. So this didn't get as much use out of it as I would have initially thought, but it's still a really nice product. The formula is really nice, kind of this, I want to almost call it like a gel, kind of like a, I don't know, cream to powder type of formula. It's really nice, and I love the shade of it because it is a tinge more rosy, which I feel like works well for my skin tone. And then as far as a cream bronzer, same story. I didn't use this as much as I thought I was going to, but I did use it a handful of times, and I do still really like it. This is the Say Dew Bronze in Salt, which is more of their cool tone bronzer, which again works best for me. And what I really like about this is that it has some like give time. So when you put it on your face, you don't have to worry about like putting a dot and blending it out and then putting more dots and blending it out. Like you could put dots all over your face and it would still blend out just fine. You have some give time with it, and it doesn't set immediately. And then to my favorite part is the blush. As you can tell, I picked out 5 blushes for this month and I rotated through all of them, and it's really hard to pick a favorite. They are all really, really nice. So we'll just start with one. This is the Fenty Beauty Suede Powder Blush in Bacon Cakes. And if you haven't seen my video before, I do have a whole video dedicated to nude blushes, which are my obsessions. And I bought more. So stay tuned for another swatch video of more nude blushes because I just can't help myself. So this falls right in line with it. It's a really nice Pretty pigmented blush, more on the nudie side. It kind of borders between, is it bronzer, is it blush? And that's how I'm liking it at these days. So this one was a really nice one. I think probably if I had to rank these, this might come in the last place, but still a really nice blush regardless. I'm trying to rank them. This is hard. Okay. Ugh. Why do I have to rank them? There's no reason. I just felt like I should. So I guess maybe next place is Patrick Ta. This is the Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She Goes to the Gym. So this one, it's definitely more of a mauve-y type of shade. Very pigmented, so be cautious, but you have your cream, you have your powder, and you can kind of intermix them. So some days I would put the powder on the bottom and then cream on top. Some days I'd vice versa. This is a really nice kind of that doll-like mauve-y blush tone. Oh, so pretty. Like, yeah, these were all so pretty. This one was very pretty too. And then, ooh, what do I want to do next? It's a toss-up. Okay, I think I'll do this one. This is from M Cosmetics. This is their Heaven's Glow Blush in Baroque. And I really liked this one because this one has a nice luminosity to it. So I would actually use this on top of most of these blushes to kind of add that luminosity that I'm looking for. So some of them were a little bit matte, and then I would top it with this and it would add that glow that I'm looking for. So I think I'm gonna pick out, because I purchased another one too, and that one's a little bit deeper. So I think I'm gonna pick that for this month and we'll see how it goes. But this one, really lovely. And then the next one in the ranking is Morphe Cheek Thrills. This is a multi-finish face trio in the shade After Party. And this one is really good. I was never like a huge Morphe fan to begin with, but ever since they've kind of been reformulating and rebranding and stuff like that, I've really been liking their products. And this one was no different. So we have the cream blush, we have this like cream shimmer blush, and then we have more of a matte. They all look beautiful together. They look beautiful separately. And I love this shade because it's everything that I'm wanting in life these days. And then my very favorite one from this bunch is actually a little bit unexpected. This is Merit Flush Balm in Bespoke. And why I say it's a little bit unexpected is because when I did my Sephora haul, I was a little bit like, I loved the color of it, but I was a little bit worried to see how it would fare on my very oily cheeks. And you know what? It actually worked out pretty well. In the end of the day, my cheeks were quite oily, but I definitely counterbalanced that when I topped it with the M Cosmetics, or if I put this one down and then put the Merit on top. It's just so beautiful. It's such a beautiful color, like just kind of a burnt rose. I don't know. It's so beautiful and my favorite of the month for sure. And the very last products are my eye products. So we'll start with the Makeup by Mario Master Mascara. Now this was advertised for more volume-based, which is typically what I like. I usually like a silicone or a plastic one, but this one was nice. It's kind of a conical type of thinner brush, but I've come to learn I like brushes even thinner than this because I do have hooded eyes and I'm not very careful when I put on my mascara. And when I am careful, it still gets everywhere. Maybe it's just inevitable. I can say I liked the effect of this mascara, but it was a little bit temperamental. Like, you didn't know if it was gonna look beautiful. You didn't know if it was going to flake. You didn't know if it was going to flake. You didn't know if it was going to smudge one day, and you couldn't really figure it out. So it was a little bit temperamental. So for that, I would say I can't necessarily recommend this, although I really liked the look of it. So this one is at the end of its life too. So this will be an empty, and then another empty. We finished some makeup products and some skincare products this month. Go me. This is the Kosas Air Brow in medium brown. This is coming to the end of its life. I'm like scraping the sides of it. This is my favorite eyebrow product. I really don't stray too far from it. And when I knew that I was coming to the end of it, I was like, okay, maybe this is a chance that I try something different. So I did pick up something else, which we'll see in a little bit. But this one is really nice and probably something I will continue to return. I will continue to purchase. I've purchased it like 3 or 4 times thus far. So it is one of my favorites. And then coming to the eyeshadows. So I just haven't been in a very big eyeshadow mood probably for the last like 4 months, maybe even just this year. I haven't really been in an eyeshadow mood. So I didn't get whole bunches of use out of this, or if I did, it was just kind of the same look over and over and over again. But I did use each and every one of these things a few times. So let's get into it. So this is the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Ritz, which is an ultra glitter, and that is exactly what it is. It's a very ultra glittery type of shade, kind of this like champagne-y, a little bit gold type of shade, very nice little topper, kind of gives that wet effect to the eyes. This one was probably my favorite, but unfortunately it is dried out at this time, so it's a little bit flaky on me. But this is the Super Shock Shadow in Rooftop Cocktails, which is another ultra glitter. And this is such a beautiful like brown blue shift, but it's not too brown, it's not too blue. I think there's like a little bit of green in it. Like this was a beautiful everyday eye for a little bit of a pop, but not anything like crazy. It was such a beautiful color. I don't know if it seemed more tamed because it is dried out, and if this was newer, if it would have more of a like punch to it, but this one is really nice. And even though it is dried out, I think I still will keep it because I kind of liked the effect of it dried out. Some people have recommended things to kind of like re-enhance the super shockness of it all. I can't quite remember. If you are one of those people, make sure you comment down below if other people have this concern as well. But I think I'm going to keep it the way it is and just kind of deal with the fallout because it's a beautiful shade. And then another ColourPop, I guess I didn't realize how many ColourPop palettes I picked. This is probably one of my favorite ColourPop palettes. This is That's Taupe, and it is more of a kind of neutral, cool tone leaning palette. I really gravitated towards Python. I would put Snake Eyes on, which like has a little bit of like a rose goldy type of effect. I used all of these shades. They're all beautiful. I love them. This is one of my favorite palettes, and the quality is still great. I've had this for ever since it came out, like 4 years, maybe 5, something like that. And it's still in really great condition. And then the last palette I use this more as my colorful palette. This is the Cosmic Beauty or Cosmic Brushes. I don't know if they've officially switched over to Cosmic Beauty, but this is their Muse palette. And this palette kind of features a little bit, like it's still colorful, but more on this like mid-tone muted type of color story compared to some of their other color stories. I will admit I didn't use this one as much, but I did use it sometimes and kind of stuck to more of the neutral tones like haze, ambient, antique, rosewood, fig, stuff like that. But in my recent thrift haul video, which something I just uploaded, so it will pop up at the end of this video if you're curious. In that video, I was wearing haze in the crease, rosewood in the outer corner to darken it up, and then inspire on the lid. And it actually turned out pretty cute. Like it kind of an unexpected mixture of them, but it turned out pretty cute. So I was happy about that, especially for somebody who hasn't been wearing much color lately. It turned out pretty good. All right, so that is everything that I used in June, all of our reviews of it. So now let's put it away and pick out stuff for July. So let's put this stuff away, and I always start with eyeshadows because I know they're on the bottom and something that I kind of use to build the rest of my looks. So that's how I start. So put my singles away. Actually, this goes in here as well. And we have my bigger palettes down here. Oops. So I was kind of thinking about it ahead of time, just very briefly, and I feel like I can't remember. I know I've used the Bloom palette, the Natasha Denona Bloom palette this year. Did I use the I Need a Warm palette? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I can't remember. But regardless, we will use this I Need a Warm palette for one of our neutral palettes. And then, like I said, I haven't been like super into colorful palettes as of recently, so I probably won't pick too many like bigger palettes. But here's the Melt Bride of Frankenstein. That might be fun for a pop of color. Yeah, we'll do that one. And then maybe my Tom Ford Cream Color for Eyes in Platinum. That might be really nice. What else? I think that might be good for eyeshadows. All right. So I'll get you a closer look of these. So this is the Melt Cosmetics, the Bride of Frankenstein palette. So again, kind of neutral, but with pops of color. So we got, you know, some variety in there. Do that one. The Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette. Both of these palettes I actually have swatching videos of, so I will link my playlist right here for you so you can see, you can kind of pick what palette you want to see. And then the Tom Ford Single Shadow in Platinum, which is a really nice one. Do I need one more? No, I think that'll be good. That'll be good. So we'll put those back there for now. And then as far as eyeshadows, actually, let's put this, let's take this out. This is my thing that kind of has all the stuff that I use on a regular basis that never really rotates. But we'll put those back there where they go. Sorry, I feel like I got the hiccups. Before I forget, we will put in, this is another product I got from Morphe. This is their Brow Tease Fiber Infused Volumizing Mousse, and I did get the shade in Latte. I did use it for the first time the other day, and it's actually seems pretty nice. Like the wand is a little bit funky doodle with this, oh, you can't see, funky doodle with this like little hourglass shape to it, which I feel like could be a little bit problematic, but we're gonna use it. And then we are gonna tap in a new mascara. This is from Kulfi. This is their Baddie Lash mascara. And I think, I feel like this might be a tubing mascara. I'm not too sure. I'm not super hip on tubing mascaras, but we're gonna try it. I like how it's kind of a thinner tube already, so it makes me think the wand is going to be excellent. This is exactly a wand that I like. So we are gonna be putting that one in there. Moving forward with, what's our next bin? Ooh, that sound is not pleasant. All right, so our next bin is foundation. So let's put all of our foundation that we've already used. So I kind of have a system where, hold on. All the products that I've used already in Shop My Stashes go into the back portions of everything, and then the stuff that I haven't used goes into the front. Kind of helps me stay organized with stuff. So we have that. So it's summertime, it's hot. I was sweating like crazy the other day. So we need something that is going to just be lightweight and yeah, something lightweight, because I'm probably not gonna be wearing lots of makeup, let's be honest. Let's try the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. I think that would be good. Oh, another one that I knew I was gonna use and I thought I was gonna forget. This is something new to my collection as well. This is from Jane Iredale. It's the Skin Tuition SPF Radiance Boosting Liquid Foundation. Water resistant, weightless liquid foundation that delivers medium buildable coverage and a naturally radiant finish with hyaluronic acid, zinc oxide, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I've used this once before and I liked the results of it. So we are going to use that as well. And I think, I'm trying to look at everything else. I think we'll be okay for right now because everything else, not saying that it's not lightweight, but I'm seeing a little bit more heavier foundations, and I feel like I'm gonna use that more closer to the end of the month, or I'm sorry, end of the year. So I think we're good on that. As far as concealers, let's see. What do we have? I forgot I had this one. Stay Concealer, Slip Tint Concealer in shade 2. Yeah, why not? Let's use that. And then maybe we'll save the Luminous Concealer because this one too is a little bit not as brightening. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. So I might wait till next month to use that one. So I think I'll have a little bit more of a tan because I do have summer plans to go to the beach in Disneyland. So I'm pretty sure I'll get bronzed up. All right, so that is everything for foundation and concealers, so we'll put that away. And then also don't forget, I know I've mentioned it, my Beauty Empties challenge. I also have a full face of makeup, so I kind of go back and forth between the two. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot like what I normally pick out, but it's because I have those products too. All right, moving on to powders. So actually let's put our highlighter away. So that goes in the back here. And I was a little bit torn about what highlighter I wanted to use, but let's open them up and see. So that one is the Ofra and Samantha March highlighter in Dream Chaser, but I feel like it's a little bit more pinky than I'm wanting at this time. This is the Natasha Denona Golden Highlighter Trio. Yeah, let's go ahead and use this one. I feel like I was gonna save this one for August again because I was gonna be a little bit more tan, but actually no, I think I'm gonna save it for August. We're gonna save that for August because I'll be a little bit more tan then, and I think it will work out. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Wand Easy Highlighter in Spotlight. I've kind of been debating if I want to keep this or not. So, ew, it's kind of nasty. So we'll put that one in. Yeah, we'll put that highlighter in. Normally I like one that has like a powder highlighter too, but that's okay. It'll be fine. All right, as far as powder, I'm trying to think of the foundations we just put in are more of a natural type of finish with a radiant, like radiant natural. So I don't necessarily want to like be super mattified. But you know what? I haven't used this one in a long time. So this is the Lunar Beauty Lunar-Versal Setting Powder in Translucent. So we'll put that one in there. And then I usually always pick a separate one for underneath my eyes. So I don't really have another one that I haven't used already that I go underneath my eyes. Actually, let's try this one. We're gonna use the Tarte Creaseless Setting Powder. We're gonna use this one for underneath the eyes. This might work really well for all over the face too. So we'll use 2 powders, and we'll put these powders back. So let's put these where they go. Let's put this guy, no, we won't put this guy back in there quite yet. Now on to bronzers. So again, bronzers that I've used go in the back here. And gosh, what have I been thinking? Let's put in, because I kind of like to have a liquid bronzer and a powder bronzer. And so I was thinking this one because it has both, but the powder is a little bit light for this time of year, but we're gonna go with that one anyways. And then I think we'll probably also use the Buttermelt bronzer from NYX. Another really nice rosy tone bronzer. This one is in the shade Buttercup. All right, now my very fun time of picking blushes. This is my extra fun time. Okay, I'm thinking about all the blushes that I have out because blush has overtaken my life in the best way possible, while also in the worst way possible. So I have expanded my blush areas. So here are my kind of like indie drugstore blushes, and then in the drawer above we have my like higher end blushes. So these two will go back here, and this is that other M Cosmetics one that I was talking about, the Heaven's Glow blush in Venetian Rose. So we are going to use this one. And then I have been dreaming about this Milani Berry Amore powder. So kind of this similar fashion where it has like it's like a baked powder luminosity. So we're gonna use that one too. So that will cover my like drugstore powders. And then here are my more like higher end powders. So let's put these away. And then let's pick out, sorry for the shakiness. Let's pick out a few more. Oh, I've been wanting to use this one. So this is the Huda Beauty blush filter from the Icy Nude collection, and this is in the shade Latte. I haven't used this one yet. I've swatched it and it's really pretty. This is an example of a liquid blush that you want to only put on one side at a time because it will set down pretty quickly. So we are going to pick that one and then one more blush. So many Fenty blushes. Somehow I just accumulated tons of Fenty, the suede blushes. And I had none, and then all of a sudden I had tons. So that was fun. Let's see. Do we want to pick out like a Persona blush? I don't want peachy. I haven't really been in a peachy vibe lately. This one is Bubble. Definitely not been in a vibrant pink mood at all. This one is the Persona one. Ooh, yes, Persona and Caramel. So we'll pick that one. And how many blushes is that? That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Why not one more? Let's do this Westman Atelier one, since I haven't used it since I got it, and this is in Garçon. Yes, that'll be perfect. Okay, let's put these away. And then I think that's everything. Yeah, we got our blushes, we got our bronzers. So let's put this stuff away. And I have like a slight kind of organization to these things. So when I'm in the morning, like I kind of know where my blushes are and my bronzers are. So my blushes kind of go over here. My foundation and concealer go up here. My eyes go right here. Powders go over here, and then highlighters and bronzers in this area. This is everything that I'm going to be using for this month. Super excited. I feel like I need to pick out one more eyeshadow. Why do I feel like I need to do that? Let's just look. Let's just look. I just have so much eyeshadow that I want to go through it, you know, and I know I haven't been on eyeshadow journey as of recently, but I still want to include it. Let's see, should I put in a Viseart palette? I feel like I haven't used a Viseart palette in a while. That one's really pretty. That one's more of like a neutral one. This one is the Cernuse Entendu palette. It's a little bit more of a neutral cool tone. And I feel like we're in summertime, we need a little bit more of a pop of color. So let's put it in this one. This is the Busy Art Mix in It on Tendu. Let me bring it a little bit closer so you can see. So kind of a peachy warm palette. We'll put that one in there. Kind of satisfy that unknown reason why I feel like I need to have another one. All right, that is everything. So thank you so much for watching. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. Let me know down below, what products have you been using as of recently? Give a little bit of a mini review of the product. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What products are you kind of like leaning towards more these days? You know, me, it's a little bit more lighter makeup with heat and maybe a little bit more of the warm tone with the eyeshadows. Definitely the nude blushes. Can't get enough of it. Stay tuned for my part 2 nude blushes. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.